I use it for lots of different fun things. This is a plastic dough blade, so it's not sharp. So you could throw all of your ingredients here inside the mixer, and it would blend it all up for you. But today we're just going to do the simple way with a bowl and a spoon. And I'm actually going to move my camera down so you can see what I'm doing here. So this recipe, I am going to show you 4 different flavors today. Each of the 4 different flavors will start off with the same base. So that's what I'm going to go over first. So these are oatmeal energy bites. So of course they're going to have oatmeal in them. I like to use rolled oats. And Bob's Red Mill is my favorite brand just because they are gluten-free. And other oats that you buy out of the store with different brands, those oats could be processed on the same line as other wheat products, and it's hard for them to guarantee that they are gluten-free. So for the base, we're going to start off with 1 cup of rolled oats. And the next important ingredient in this recipe, I'm using sunflower seed butter today. This is the brand that I use. It's Sun Butter. You can find it at Walmart or Schnucks, Hy-Vee, any of the major store brands. I use sunflower seed butter because I do not do tree nuts or peanuts. You can definitely use that in replace of sunflower seed butter if you prefer. Almond butter, cashew butter, regular peanut butter, those are all really good choices for you. So this was a 1/2 cup of sunflower seed butter. The next part of the base is going to be our sweetener. And today I'm going to be using agave nectar. So I like to use agave because it's low on the glycemic index. What that means is it doesn't spike your blood sugar as high as other sweeteners. So if your blood sugar levels are something that you're watching, this is a really good sweetener for you. You could also use honey or maple syrup or even regular sugar if you don't have those other things in your kitchen. And we're going to be using 1/4 cup of sweetener today. And what I also like about this recipe is it is very versatile. So if you really are watching your blood sugar levels, you do not have to use a full 1/4 of a cup. You can make it as sweet as you want. You could maybe use a couple tablespoons of agave nectar, add in some stevia, which would, which is better for your blood sugar levels as well. So you can mix and match your sweeteners to suit your taste. If you like something a little bit sweeter, you could use even more than 1/4 of a cup of sweetener. The next ingredient we're going to use in the base is vanilla. This is pure vanilla, not imitation. I find that pure vanilla extract has a better flavor than the imitation, but either will work. And we're going to be using 1 teaspoon of vanilla for the base. There we go. And we will also be adding just a hint of salt. So this is 1/4 teaspoon. So it's pretty small. We're not adding a whole lot of salt here, but if you're watching your salt intake, you can definitely leave this out and it won't affect the recipe too much. The last little bit we're going to add to the base is a protein powder. This is a vanilla vegan plant-based protein that I like to use because I do not do any dairy products. So this is made out of pea protein. So this is going to add a lot more protein to this recipe already from the sunflower seed butter. That way your healthy snack will keep you fuller a little bit longer. And I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of my vanilla protein powder to this recipe. If you don't have protein powder on hand, that's okay too. This is something that you could omit from the recipe if you preferred. So this is our base. All 4 of the flavors that I'm showing you today will start with the same base. You'll just be adding different mix-ins to them to flavor them however you would like. The first flavor that I want to go over is called Classic Chocolate Chip. and you would just add a half a cup of chocolate chips to this base and mix it up, and that would be your chocolate chip flavor. The chocolate chips that I like to use are called Enjoy Life. This is a good brand if you are allergen friendly in your household. These chocolate chips are made in a facility that do not process dairy, gluten, shellfish, or tree nuts. So I really like this brand of chocolate chips. You can find them at Schnucks and Walmart, on Amazon. You can find them online or at your regular stores as well. The second flavor that I like to do sometimes is called double chocolate. So for double chocolate, you start with your base, you add in again your half a cup of chocolate chips, but to give it the extra chocolate flavor, you would just add 2 tablespoons of regular baking cocoa powder. That's a good fun one if you want more of a fun dessert snack. The third flavor that I really like to do is called Oatmeal Raisin. I love cinnamon flavored anything. So for the Oatmeal Raisin flavor, you will add a half a cup of dried raisins to your base and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon or more, depending on how much cinnamon you like in your bites. If you're not a fan of raisins, sometimes I've added dried blueberries or dried cranberries as well. I know that not everyone is a raisin fan, so any kind of dried fruit with cinnamon is actually a really good pairing. So the flavor today that I'm actually going to make is my favorite. It's called Trail Mix, and I wanted to show you this recipe today specifically because we're coming up on summer and trail mix is becoming really popular for all the outdoor activities that everyone is starting. So for the trail mix, we're going to add 3 teaspoons of chocolate chips, there we go. And we're also going to add 3 teaspoons of raisins. And again, if you're not a raisin fan, you can add dried blueberries or cranberries or whatever kind of dried fruit you'd like to this recipe, and it would still be a very authentic trail mix flavor. Okay. And then last but not least, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds. Since I don't do tree nuts or peanuts, I'm adding sunflower seeds to this. It will go well pairing with the sunflower seed butter that I use in my base. But if you do like peanuts or nuts, you could chop up dry roasted peanuts or cashews, walnuts, pecans. Just make sure you chop them up to a little bit finer size. That way they're easier to mix into your bites when you roll them into balls. So now that I have everything added to my dish, it's just simply mix up all the ingredients. And we're looking for a certain consistency here. We don't want our dough to be too dry where we can't form it into balls, but we don't want it to be too wet to where it's so sticky we can't handle the batter. So sometimes it just takes a little bit to mix this all up. Make sure you have all of your add-ins evenly distributed throughout the dough, so all of your bites will have all of the fun goodies in it, and we don't have all the raisins in one part and all the chocolate chips in another. Okay, so this consistency looks pretty good. You know, nothing's like being too runny, but it's still a little wet to where when I kind of pat it down, it's forming together into a ball. So the mixture is still sticking together, but it's not too wet to where it's so sticky when I handle it, my hands will get all messy. So once you have everything mixed together, what you should do, you should place this dough in the fridge for 30 minutes. What that's going to do is going to allow the dough to meld together a little bit better. It's going to be easier to roll out into balls. So what I did this morning, I made another batch up in the fridge, and I'm going to grab that right now. So this is the batch that I made this morning previously that's been in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. This is actually the oatmeal raisin flavor because it's my second favorite to the trail mix. And this is a 1-inch ball that I've rolled out. So this is about the size that you want. Of course, you can make them smaller or larger depending on your preference. And I'm gonna set this right here. This is parchment paper that I've cut out to the size of my baking sheet, and I'm gonna lay them out on this parchment paper for right now. So anytime you're cooking, make sure you wash your hands thoroughly because right now we're gonna be rolling these balls and touching all of the food, so we just wanna make sure that our hands are clean. So to roll them into 1-inch balls, you just take a regular tablespoon and get your batter, kind of get about this size. They don't have to be perfect. And you're just going to gently roll them and mash them into a ball. Okay, and once you have it rolled, you can just set it on your parchment paper. This is something fun and easy that anyone can do. That's why I like this recipe. It's super simple. It doesn't take a long time. A lot of times you can use a lot of the ingredients that you just have on hand normally at home. It doesn't take any fancy ingredients that you normally wouldn't have. So if you're hungry and you need a snack to tide you over in between dinner and lunch, you can just whip this up really quick. You don't have to wait for it to bake. And you've got a quick snack that you can eat, and it's healthy, and it'll fill you up with the fiber from the oats and the protein from the sunflower seed butter and the protein powder. So once we would be finished rolling all of these into balls, there's a couple different ways that you can store them. If you know that you're going to eat a lot of them soon, let's say you're planning on eating like 1 or 2 every day, it's really good. You can just store these in the fridge. You could store them in the fridge in a container like this one. Just any airtight container with a lid. You can just store the balls one on top of each other, and they'll keep for like up to 2 weeks in the fridge. You can make a larger batch all at once, and then you'll just have 2 weeks worth of snacks on hand. If for some reason you wanted to make these up ahead of time, you wanted to bring them over to a friend's house for a party or a get-together, you can make them up in advance and you could pop them in the freezer. If you're going to put them in the freezer, what I suggest is line them up like I'm doing on this parchment paper here. And once you have the whole baking sheet filled with the bites, go ahead and place them in the freezer just like this. So the individual balls will freeze separately on their own. Then once the individual bites are frozen, then you can place them in your airtight container, even a plastic Ziploc bag, and you can freeze them all together for up to 3 months. Some people even like to eat these semi-frozen. So kind of like a little frozen dessert. You could pop them out of the freezer and let them thaw for just a couple minutes and eat them that way, and they will stay for quite a while in the freezer. So that is the gist of this fun, easy, healthy snack recipe. If anyone would like me to send them the recipe, you can comment on this Facebook post and I will send it to you. I can email it to you or message it to you on Facebook Messenger. Let me know what you think, or if you have any other fun ideas that you'd like for us to try. We can go ahead and do those recipes as well. Before I sign off, I just wanted to say thank you for watching and make sure that you support our Summer Spirit Week this week and our summer games this weekend. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.